average rate of change of a function f of x over the interval a to b is the slope of the line segment between a, f of a and b, f of b. What this means is we have some function, which in this picture is represented by the blue curve, that's f of x, and on this function we have two x values, x equals a and x equals b. So we're looking at the interval from a to b. And on that interval, our function is some curved function, and we're trying to estimate our function. Or we're trying to find the slope of the line segment that connects the two endpoints of that interval. So to find the slope of that line segment, or the average rate of change, we're going to use the slope formula, which is m equals change in y over change in x. M is the letter usually used to represent slope from high school algebra. So that means, change in y over change in x is the second y value minus the first, y2 minus y1, over x2 minus x1. However, here we're using function notation, so it might be useful to think of slope instead as the change in f of x over the change in x. So the change in the outputs over the change in the inputs. So that would mean we're looking at f of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. So that's how we get the slope of the line connecting two endpoints of a curve. So let's look at an example. Example 1, find the average rate of change of f of x equals x squared over the interval from 1 to 4. And we're going to use this slope formula. So on the top, we're going to find f of b minus f of a. Here, a and b are our x1 and our x2, so the first value, x value of our interval, is a, so that's 1, and then the second value is b, so that's 4. So we're going to find f of b minus f of a. F of b would be f of 4. Plugging into our function, which is x squared, that would be 4 squared, so 16. And then subtracting from that f of a. So subtracting f of 1, which would be 1 squared because our function is x squared. So 16 minus 1 gives us 15 is our f of b minus f of a. So that's our change in f of x. And we want to divide that by our change in x, which is just subtracting the endpoints of the interval. So subtracting b, which is 4, minus a, which is 1. And 4 minus 1 is 3. So our average rate of change is going to be 15 over 3, so 5 is our average rate of change of this function on the interval from 1 to 4. So that's the slope of the line connecting the points with x values 1 and 4 on this function.